Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. This video is about the cross that was set on fire in Chicago's Grant Park. Now, I've been saying for a long time that the street names are connected. I've been saying for a long time that the various names in the situation are connected. So, one of the most famous people in the Civil War was Ulysses S. Grant. And the Klan started right after the Civil War. In fact, Nathan Bedford Forrest, who's often credited as founding the Klan, was a former Confederate officer. He was a well-respected Confederate officer when it comes to the Confederacy. I don't like him, but Okay. Now, the situation is very similar to a gang neighborhood that's been shot up and no one knows who did it. It doesn't pay to not speculate. It doesn't pay to assume. To assume that it was the Klan is a mistake. You got to ask yourself who has the means, motive, and ability to pull it off. And if somebody gets caught for it, is it as simple as that person came up with it themselves? Or is there something more complex and diabolical going on? So the right wing might say that it's Israel doing it. I don't know, maybe they're right. Maybe they want to create more chaos. There's a lot of stuff going down in the Middle East right now, and they have the means, motive, and ability, absolutely. All those Christian Zionists supporting them, a lot of them are in the government, in the intelligence community. Could very well be that. Could very well be some hate group one way or another. Could be a hate group, a white supremacist hate group that doesn't like the Klan. Could be communists doing it. There's a lot of groups that could benefit from it. But one thing we know for sure is we got to keep our eyes on the prize. What's going on here is a massive movement of globalists and nationalists alike. They're working together, right? They're working in concert to split the pie and to take away your rights. That's why it's called neocolonialism. It wasn't just one political party or another. They worked together and they had a colonial plan for the entire world. They split the pie in the Americas back in the day. They split the pie in Africa, and they're still splitting it to this day. They split the pie in Asia, in the Middle East, and all over the world. That's what's going on here. And we're supposed to have our rights. We're not supposed to take the side of the bad guys in Tarzan, so to speak, right? The colonists who are just greedy, arrogant narcissists, regardless of your race. It isn't about black versus white, or Christian versus Jew, or whatever. It's about good versus evil. And how do we know what's good? Well, we have to look at it in terms of universal pinpoint and moral precision. What is good is very much like basic math. 1 + 1 = 2 in basic arithmetic. 2 + 2 = 4 in basic arithmetic. It is wrong to be greedy. It is wrong to kill for no good reason. It is wrong to just live your life being a selfish and greedy person. It's wrong not to try to be morally precise to the best of your ability. And to look at the situation. What is fair for everybody? What is fair for straight people, LGBT people, men, women, children? What is fair for Jews and Christians and Muslims and atheists and agnostics and Hindus and Buddhists? What is fair? Let's discuss this logically. And one of the most disturbing things I see going on is people refuse to have logical talks. That's why Charlie Kirk was killed, and it was symbolic of what's going on. Whether you liked him or not, okay, I liked some of the things he did, and I didn't like some of the things he did. I don't think they should have killed him. And when they killed him, it was symbolic of trying to stifle free speech. They censor us on the internet into next week. I'll be surprised if this video gets more than 10 views, even though this is a great video. And I make very potent and very respectable points in my videos. Because they censor, and they try to do it in a sneaky way. They won't make it so I get 0 views. I'll get 4 views, 5 views, 10, 15. People are being censored. You don't get a good sense of things when people are being censored. Even if somebody's racist and hateful, they should be allowed their free speech. So we can understand what's going on, understand what people are thinking. One of the main reasons we have so many mass shootings in America is the particular type of censorship we have in America. It is infuriating. Countless people are very angry about YouTube, TikTok, you name it. Facebook, they used to call it Facebook jail. People would get very angry. Some people get put in Facebook jail and they go out and start a fight at a bar. They go out and shoot somebody because they're so mad that they're being censored. When you have something important to say and they won't hear you, it pisses you off. Imagine if somebody killed your kid and you called the police and they said, yeah, don't bother us. And you go there and they're like, look, we don't want to hear it. When you have something important to say and they won't let you say it, they get in the way of you speaking to the audience that should hear it. It pisses you off. When they mock you while they're doing so, like they're mocking me, they fume me and they poison me, they target me. When they're trying to cancel your culture, when your culture is universal, pinpointed moral precision, it is very clear that America is not being true to what is said on paper. It's not being true to the idea of freedom and justice. Liberty and justice for all. The masses of the people, including every righteous person that ever lived, they don't want freedom to be within the boundaries of the corrupt governing class. They want a universally fair boundary for what you can and can't do. And we're not seeing that. And they're massacring people and they're deporting people instead of making a region for them. We can consider everyone's concerns. We can slice the country into regions. You can have an all-white region for people in a small town who like to keep things the way they are, what have you. There's things we can do. But instead, we're not having constructive and logical discussions. And when it comes to the political arena, wisdom is not prevailing. Sheer stupidity is what we're seeing in politics. Just unbelievable stupidity. And it's in every party, every congressman, every branch of government. They're not using their heads. And they're afraid to do what's right. This is supposed to be the land of the brave, right? The home of the free, right? The land of the free and the home of the brave, rather. But that's not what we're seeing, is it? We're seeing the land of the oppressed, the land of the enslaved, and the home of the cowards. That's what we're seeing. In order for America to be respectable, to be good, to be great, to be worthwhile, you have to put your heart into it and insist on what is fair and just and right. You have to insist on freedom and justice. There are so many rich people and their allies that are scrambling to take away people's rights. The reason why they're called rights, because they're supposed to be within the boundaries of what is right.